Guys, Sean with BlueRidgeSilverhound. Hope everyone's having a great day. All right, so we have a rather extensive video today. We're going to try and keep it as short as I can, hopefully under like 20 minutes or so. But in this video, I wanted to address some of the results of findings within the last day or so. I've reached out to a number of banks that I have accounts with, in all 6 banks, and we're going to talk about how difficult it is to get any sort of roll coin, plus an extra twist in all of this. Believe it or not, for the first time, I've encountered this particular issue, but we'll get into that here in a few moments. We are going to talk about what's happening at the banks in obtaining some bankrolls and all that great stuff for the holidays. I don't know. I'm kind of at a loss for words. Just the feedback I've been getting from branch managers. I've either called them or I visited them in person to discuss the possibility of ordering, said rolls. But it's not looking too good, guys. Hate to say that a coin shortage is indeed waiting in the wings, but it might be the case. So we have that. We're going to talk about some coins that are in short supply that are going to be incredibly difficult to source out during the holidays. You guys know, I've talked about it till the wheels fall off this particular conversation. But people heavily engage in the coin numismatic hobby and currency. You can even throw currency in the mix. From right around now, mid-September-ish, after all the kiddies go back to school, after Labor Day, you know what, yada yada. In addition to the other months, that goes probably all the way up to about March. But right now, September and December is by far and away the busiest time of the year in the hobby, customarily. There are a number of coins that are being targeted that you guys need to know about. Whether you own these or you're looking to build some sort of position in your collection of these coins. We're going to talk about that as well. Along with all the other things, like silver, for example. Where the heck is silver going? I talked to every single dealer in the Sacramento area in the last 5 days. And it's sad. It's sad because not a lot of them have any sort of real amount of silver to offer anyone. They do have scrap, like sterling 925. They got like unmelted unmelted sterling silverware and plates and platters and all that great stuff. And so you can buy that, but I'm going to be charging an arm and a leg. I'm like, really? And they're not nearly paying enough for that stuff, that junk, as they would the coin grade of silver and gold. It's remarkable. I figure we are going to go ahead and just start with the silver issue. As of right now, the price of silver is at $23.86 as of this video. So we are at close of business. I believe the markets are closed for the day, although RPM's traded continuously, silver and gold. So silver has retraced a little bit. It's just under $24 an ounce, but yet we are seeing just incredibly ridiculous premiums on these. And it doesn't matter what you really pick. I mean, the 96 is a key here, but if you were to factor in the cost of the coin that you buy on eBay in addition to the shipping, that'll give you your roundabout number of what you're paying for the coin and how much above spot you're paying. So let's just use $24 an ounce is what the current market is for silver. And some would argue that, well, that's the price for paper silver. Okay, whatever. You know, it still affects physical form of coin as well. So it's looking like raw coins are coming around 35 bucks. BU condition. Of course, we had the 2021 reverse proof 2-coin designer set that released yesterday, or went available for sale yesterday. There's another one that sold for about $380 shipped. But yeah, we're looking at these ungraded silvers. Yeah, they're coming around 35, 36 bucks a piece, which is $10 to $12 above spot. Now, does that just seem insane to me? It kind of does, right? It's very insane. And then when you make an attempt to reach out to a local coin shop, especially the ones in my area, because we have a lot of people that buy silver, and it's in short supply, ladies and gentlemen. Out of all the dealers, less than half actually have any sort of scrap available. One dealer actually had a few 999s left. No one had any measurable size bars, so anything above 10-ounce bars, nothing out there. It's all been absorbed into the market and into investors' hands at this point. But it's pretty insane if you ask me. Based off of the overall mood of the dealers, they said this is going to become an even bigger issue through the holidays. Because during the holidays, you know, Silver Eagles have an increasing high turnover rate. The market is very active for physical forms of silver. Now, I'm showing you guys Silver Eagles. It's like one of the most popular selling bullion coins on the face of this earth. All right, there's no argument to be made for the most part. And then you have your, what I consider to be name brand generics, your Englehards, your AppMax, what is that, Cointown, you know, few others. The Credit Suisse, I guess, is another one. Yeah, it is another one. Yeah, there's a few of them out there. Those have been commanding quite a hellacious premium as well. I mean, those are, you know, not too far off from Silver Eagle status in the market. And dealers are just not seeing or being able to find any of these through their dealer network. They're just not coming across these. Furthermore, there's not the amount of people that are bringing silver to the coin shops in contrast to the people that want to buy it is completely this wide, huge gap. There are not nearly enough people selling these things as there are people actually having a desire for them. And I think it's unprecedented. I've never personally seen it, but from what I've been told through a couple of my favorites, I'm just going to go ahead and use them, that this is going to be a continuing issue. One of my dealers actually has a waiting list, and he has to fulfill those before he could put silver into the safe and into his dealer case. He just doesn't have anything. He's got graded silver. Like if you wanted a Silver Eagle, that's like, you know, Mint State 69 or 70 or Proof 69 or Proof 70. He does have those, but nobody's really touching those because just, you know, some people don't really care for the graded forms of Silver Eagles or Maple Leafs out there. So that's going to be the first one. There's going to be a high desirability for any sort of silver. Most notably, anything 999 fine, whether it's generics or some of the better minted items out there from the U.S. Mint and the Royal Canadian Mint and a few others. So definitely keep an eye out for that. If you guys are looking to make some extra money, you could certainly move some of your silver and make a pretty good premium. I'd probably wait a little bit longer, seeing as how they're predicting a complete fallout of any inventory of silver around mid-October, end of October, and then for the next 60 days after that. and then just the premiums are just going to go sky high as they are right now. I mean, just imagine being the guy in Austria selling this thing for $46.58. I mean, people do some pretty crazy things. At first glance, it appears that it's dumber than a box of rocks type of mentality, but this is the market, man. It is what it is. So that's the silver. Gold's not nearly as bad. My dealers have like old pre-1933 gold that they have to sell if you don't care about condition or rarity or anything like that. They just have like some of the most common basic dated coins that have been cleaned or, you know, damaged or something like that. Those are available. Silver seems to be the ultimate target right now out of all the major PMs. Nobody has palladium, nobody has platinum, nobody cares to carry those because they're so expensive compared to the previous two PMs. So yeah, that's your market right there. And if you needed any more kind of like concrete evidence that this is indeed happening, do a couple things. You notice I'm on eBay just kind of scrolling through these coins. Go and scroll through eBay and look at actual completed sales of some of these. Furthermore, call your dealers. Find out what they have. Now, there's going to be obvious exceptions out there. There's going to be that dealer that has quite a bit of silver. Find out how much they're selling this stuff for. Because the difference between now and mid-November, when I would imagine the market would just be at its crest, at its absolute pinnacle, way up here, like huge, yeah, like huge level. Like we're talking like 25,000 feet elevation, huge for the silver market. All right, so there is that. Let's go ahead and jump to the actual bank issue. And the big issue, of course, isn't the bank themselves. It's being able to obtain our best resource of coins to look through. And that's the bankrolls and bags out there. Out of all of the branches that me and my wife have a business account with, even though we have a business account, it doesn't mean that we have an endless supply of coin at our leisure. We don't. As a matter of fact, they still have the signage up. You know, you may not get the coins that you need. I ended up asking two of the managers that I know of, because I see them at least once a week. I asked them, well, you know, how much can I get? Well, if you need it, you know, we could get you like 10 rolls of quarters. We could get you, essentially, she said we could get you 10 rolls of each denomination. But here's the strange part. She wants us to call in the order like 2 days in advance. So just to make sure that they do have it. And they actually, the one bank I talked to said they'll set it aside, which is strange because, you know, banks normally don't do that. But for business customers, I guess they're willing to make an exception. I don't know. But it's not a supply issue from what I could gather, because the one branch manager that's closest to me for a Chase Bank actually had said that it's not a supply issue. It's a people process issue. The stuff is not getting processed as quickly as there is employees, and these armored car companies and whoever else, the Fed Reserve, I mean, they're looking for people. Okay, it's just like the McDonald's down the road or the Walmart across the street. I mean, everybody's hiring. There is absolutely a shortage of employees, and that is ultimately what the issue is here with the distribution of coins. The distribution or lack thereof is what's preventing more coinage from being out at the banks and into circulation today. So I can't, for the life of me, have any sort of resource to obtain a full bank box of any denomination, even pennies, which at one point they'd be willing to give that away. You know, like 2 years ago, they're like, yeah, take it. You know, we have like $3,000 face value in pennies sitting in our vault, and we just need it to go away. And they don't want to give it back to the armored car company because it costs them money to actually send it back. And that's why a lot of the banks I deal with, they don't like dealing with half dollars, okay, which is unfortunate. And I've asked about those pesky presidential and Native American dollar rolls. And they said, well, we sent those back a long time ago. These banks used to have them quite a bit. They used to have a lot of these in their vault, and they would just sit there. And every time I would ask, you know, like go back 18, 24 months, and they know me by name, you know, even before I slide my card in and go about my transaction. But they knew me. They're like, hey, Sean, you got to take these rolls of dollars off my hands. And they were trying to pawn that shit off on me. And it was crazy. But now they're all gone. So, some have said, yeah, there's been customers that have come in and they've been slowly buying up these dollar rolls for whatever reason. And we would never see them come back. So that's kind of strange. If you're an avid coin roll hunter, obviously the coins go back to a bank in some capacity. You know, they get re-rolled and they get sent back to the bank. All right, to your dump bank. So your dump bank will have usually the most amount of material out there. But yeah, those dollar rolls are non-existent in my neck of the woods. It might be different in your neck of the woods. In my neck of the woods, it's no go. I think the best bet at this point, if we were going to come up with any sort of solution, if you guys needed to get rolls, you start now and you ask for little bits and pieces and you cobble together, you know, a nice good pile of bankrolls. You know, you'll go in there and you'll say, hey, can I have like 4 or 5 of each denomination? And then you go to the next bank, you do the same thing. You go to the next bank, you do the same thing. You're gonna be logging more miles and spending a little bit more on gas, but you're gonna get the material that you need to get you through the holidays. And seeing as how cherry picking for varieties and errors has kind of blown up in the last 6 months, and that's even after other various asset classes have dipped in price. The desirability of bankrolls has been steadily increasing. It's a very active. Very active, for sure. Now, what I wanted to do, I can't type today. I'm sitting there trying to type with one hand. Penny box. I want to see if these are still selling for like 60, 70 bucks. Well, this one right here is just over 60, $25 face value, NF String and Sun rolls. Here's another one for 70. Okay, and these all sold within like the last few days. There's a wheat cent box. That's a wheat cent box as well. Here's another one. This is one of the lowest ones so far, 54. So that's double face. Here's another one here. That's 54. And by the way, the prices I'm giving you is shipped. So yeah, I mean, definitely these things are selling for a good amount of money. I mean, here's one right here. With shipping is at $93.50. I mean, if you need it that bad, I mean, the one thing about the price in which these sell at is people tend to gravitate more toward the sealed. Like this one has that craft sealed tape that's sitting on that edge there. I mean, it's really not a big deal, I would say. But, oh my God. Yeah. I mean, obviously, if you had the ability to get these at the bank, and again, some of you are going to have better luck than others, but the general overall kind of mood on bankrolls has been very sour in the last 30 days. I've had no luck. The last box of pennies I was able to obtain was back in July, And that same bank I got that from doesn't have any more to give out. They said, we can't do this. We could give you 10 rolls. And that's it. So that is currently our situation for the coin roll hunters out there, is that these things are not right sizing themselves, as long as we're seeing, I guess, a shortage in employees to process these boxes at not only the armored car company level or the Fed Reserve level, but also at the banks too. I think the banks are having less issues having employees, for sure. But, oh, another twist to all this. All the banks I talked to said they can't give me full straps of ones anymore. They could give me up to like $50 worth. And it used to be that I could go and either call in and order like $500 worth of dollar bills, because I like to search through them for fancy serial numbers and star notes and all sorts of other goodies in there. And not a lot of people do that. So for the longest time, especially during the pandemic, when there was a coin shortage or the perceived coin shortage, you were able to get dollar bills out there. It was like, yeah, it was very much available out there in the banking system. And then now all of a sudden, there are no full straps that they want to give out. I mean, they could give them out. They just choose not to. This is kind of like a dramatic turn, maybe in a company-wide memo or something like that. And, you know, it might just be that more people have been requesting bank straps or BEP bricks or something to that effect. But same difference as penny rolls and nickel rolls and all that other great stuff. This stuff is drying up because there's a lot more people who are working from home that are doing this as a side activity. And then there are people that are hoarding them, and then there are people and businesses that went out of business that are still sitting on sealed box inventory and rolls that hasn't gone back to the banking system yet. All right, so that's number 2. The third one is a surprise the hell out of a lot of you, but we're gonna see an incredible, just not only market but also supply issue of quality graded coins. Quality graded coins, but it's not all of them. We're going to talk about just a handful of various type coins that have been just white hot in the market here recently, and this is within the last 30 to 60 days, and it's reflected on PCGS price guide metrics. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and pick, say, Indian Head 2.5 golds. Let's see what we have here. Oh, geez. Okay, so I see a bunch of already green arrows on there. But take a look at the just all of the green arrows that's scattered around on this price list for these coins. Now, these are earlier dates, but I don't think that really matters. Just look at them. Even the lower grade coins have been jumping up in value. Like this one right here was once $600. Now it's up to $625. This one is up to $785 from $750. So, I want to drop 10 grand there. But wow, I mean, look at all the green. So this has been, yeah, early pre-1933 gold. I know for a fact because I've been keeping an eye on this particular segment of U.S. coinage, and the coins have gone up in price on auction. I'm on Great Collections all the time, and I keep an eye out for stuff like this. And even, I was even looking for a $3 gold piece, which, as you guys know, is a very short series and incredibly scarce in grades above like Mint State 63. Those have gone up through the roof. Now, when we get into the much more common dates here, 1880s, 1890s, wow. Yeah, just look at all the green arrows, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, that indicates just a wild, wild, wild desirable market for this particular coin. But it's not the only one either. I think the last time I did one of these, Morgan dollars was busting a nut like you would not believe. Especially in grades like mid-state 63s, 64. All right, and yeah, we're seeing lots of green arrows on certain dates, even for this one. So Morgan dollars is still doing okay, and you know it's not just because of the Morgan and Peace dollar release from the U.S. Mint, but people are looking for underpriced graded coins, and for the longest time, those mid-state 63 and 64 grade levels on common dates have been sitting for under $100 since like the turn of the century. So now the prices are realizing a much bigger amount at the end of the day. A lot of these just within the last year have jumped up about 25% in value. So if you did buy some of these before last summer, you guys are in great shape. These things are just booming right now. All right, so that's Morgan dollars. That's still doing well. One that I did like was Cap Bus half dollars. That's always been very popular, and in the, you know, see this one right here, no green arrows to speak of, which means this. There's a few, but Cap Bus has been going up, and up for like most of the last 18 months, and now there's no more green arrows, which I think these have hit kind of like a plateau level, and it's anybody's guess if these are going to shoot up higher at a certain point, or if this is indeed the peak for these coins. So that's Capped Bust. Walking Liberties. Let's take a look at that. We'll take a look at a few more, and I'll let you guys go. Walking Liberties. There you go. Look at that. Green arrows up to wazoo. Whew. Yeah, we're seeing little 8 to 10% increases per pop, per item. Wow. Huge warning to you guys. I mean, yeah. I mean, for some of the cheaper, lesser graded items, like you get into the 1940s on Walking Liberties, and they're like, you know, I could pick up a mid-state 64 for under $100, and then now all the up arrows have driven these up to 100, if not higher. So, I mean, there you go. There you go. Proof in the pudding. Candy half dollars or Franklin's? This ought to make Adam, Mr. Coin and Ghouls, happy, because there's a few green arrows in here. It's not an unloved series for sure. Franklin half dollars has its like core audience of people, especially in the registry set system and whatnot. But just incredible. Peace dollars. This is my jam. I've noticed prices have been going up on Peace dollars. I tried buying, was it 27S right here? And I was like, wow, I could have bought this 12 months ago for about 15% less than what, you know, the market is right now. That's a tough date, by the way, 27S. But, yep. Yeah, it's just incredible. Now, in terms of some possible series to target, because there's going to be these coin series that's sitting here in this bucket that is continuously being purchased. They're being bought out at very specific grade levels. And then there's all these other coins that there's not nearly enough attention on them, you know, for whatever reason. Some would say, well, you know, I could buy this, but I'm not going to get nearly as much back when I go to sell it. Well, why'd you buy in the first place, right? One of those is actually the lower denomination oddballs. 2-cent pieces, 3-cent pieces. Although I've noticed that the proof coins for these two denominations has been going up. And then there's some of these early coppers, like the half cents, and you can make the argument from like the classic head through the braided hair series have been kind of soft. And then in the large scent, you could say the same for coronet head and braided hair. Those two have been soft. Liberty nickels, with exception of proof strikes. Proof strikes have been going up. Shield nickels also I would put in that bucket. There's some dimes as well, seeded dimes. Let's see what else here. Barber. Any of the Barber coins are soft right now. 20-cent pieces are okay. They're not dropping. They're not selling at higher dollar values. So I'm not, you know, Franklin half dollars I put in that boat. More Barbers. Oh, you know, a very, very high performing series is Liberty Seeded Dollars. Jesus, I was looking for this for a typeset, and it's expensive. Even for the common dates, like 59 is a common date. 59-0 is even more common. You get here to the later dates, was it 1869? Yeah, that one right there is pretty common. 1872, 71. 73. But look at all the up arrows here, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, this one right here has been been a bastion in the secondary market here recently. I did notice that because I was looking at some examples on Great Collections, and it's just been insane. All right, so yeah, seeded material for dollars has been quite the performer. In addition to any sort of moderns, with exception of a few of the moderns, like I have this thing right here, you know, the brand new Type 2 proof. This is the West Point. That's the one I bought off of Paula Bloom. And those have been performing really well. The special strikes and proof strikes. And the 2019 and 2020 West Point circulation quarters has just been insane. The prices just keep going up and up and up and up on those without any sign of letting up, and it's worrisome. It's worrisome because a lot of the prices have been jumping up rather unnaturally. I'm like, there's going to be a cycle here. I feel like that there might be a correction, but not when there's going to be a constraint on supply, because if that exists, the prices won't ever go down on them. And I think that's probably what we're going to see with those West Point quarters, because they only did make 2 million of each, and a lot of them are still out in circulation. A lot of them will not grade very well when they are discovered later on in the next, you know, 1 to 100 years, or whenever that is. So, yeah, those have been pretty crazy. If I were you guys, I'd probably hold on to them. Unless you absolutely need the money, then go ahead and move them at your discretion. But that's going to do it. Quick little fine print and all this. I'm not a financial advisor or an expert. I did not graduate Numismatics University. This is for entertainment purposes only and educational. So take it for what it is. I have to throw that in there because people actually hold me to my word. Like, you said this is going to go up. I said, well, no, keep an eye out for these. I didn't say go and buy every single one that you can. Now, there are a couple of, like, no-brainer coins, like the 2019 and 20 West Point quarters. I have been hoarding those. So I am your guys' competition. You see them. Keep in mind, I also see them as well. And I've been building a pretty nice, healthy position of that coin, because eventually they're going to dry up, and I'm targeting specifically mint state raw ungraded coins. On the graded side, I've purchased a few mint state 67s. Those are not cheap anymore unless you're buying the American Memorial Park. Those ones are, no, the San Antonio Missions rather, those you could still get for around 150 or so in mint state 67, and I would target specifically PCGS graded examples. But there you go. That's going to go ahead and do it. So real quick, I wanted to thank you guys for joining in on the live coin Q&A streams that we have every Monday night. We had a really nice one last night. Talked about some pretty big coins that have been found by our viewers. If you guys need any sort of consultation on your coins, go ahead and submit your coin question and good clear images to info@livecoinqa.com. Again, we go live every Monday night, 5:30 Pacific, 8:30 Eastern, and then everybody else in between. You guys know who you are and what time you are at in the country. But we're on for about an hour and a half. We talk about your coins and we take questions in chat. But it's been wildly successful. We have a really, really solid panel of people that we use on the stream, the subject matter experts, and we're all a team. All right, one way or the other, we will get the answers to your questions the best that we can. And if we can't get it with the people that's on live, we will find out through what, a myriad of different other folks who are experts in the field. We will get you your answers. But I think that's going to go ahead and do it. We are at 36 minutes, way, way longer than I wanted to be on. If you guys are still on, thank you for, being on 36 minutes. It just means that you guys have a lot of free time on your hands. But that's going to go ahead and do it, guys. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Hit that bell for instant notifications. Hit the dislike button if you don't like a 30-plus minute video, or me for that matter. But that's it. Coinaholics, we are discovering together. You guys take care. Enjoy this burgeoning coin market, and I will see you on the next coin video. So long.